Hey, welcome back to the Nets, guys. Unbiased views, they're fast, they're furious. Today's topic day two of India versus Australia and New Zealand versus Pakistan T20. With me is Arsh. Hey, Arsh, welcome back.
Hey, hi. Before we start on, please hit the like, please subscribe, please do whatever you can to spread the word out. Thank you guys. That will help us a lot. So let's
Thank-
start. How are you doing, man?
I am doing good, pretty intrigued, excited with the game, the way the game has played. Uh, it's always good to not have any expectations from Team India, and when they deliver, you're always happy. So it's been a great Adelaide Test match. At least the first 2 days have been brilliant.
So what's your takeaway from from the first couple of games,
Uh,
couple of
batting,
days?
slightly disappointing. Bowling, amazing. Fielding, absolutely disappointing. How about you?
So where do you want to start off from? Do you want to start out from India's batting, or do you want to jump
I
into
mean,
the bowling?
I covered this briefly in yesterday's video as well. With India's batting, I thought that we did not really, they did not really take our wickets. We threw our wickets ourselves.
Correct.
Kohli's run out is the turning point, but they didn't really look as lethal as we expect this Australian bowling lineup to be. And maybe it's the pink ball. We don't know.
Correct. So, where I see it from Kohli's wicket, we just gave that away. I don't know why was Saha in the team. I really ranked him really high, but today it has not been his best test match or one of his best test matches. He just gave his wicket away. Hanuma Vihari again was a disappointment. Prithvi Shaw, damn, that's a 10-minute long session. So when it comes to Mayank, got got the bowler got the better of him. Whereas all in all, played well. Virat Kohli played the innings of this year, so it has been a the beauty of the innings was the spacing of the innings. Pujara again beautifully made Australian bowlers cry. To last out for that long was one of the best things that happened for India on the first day. Well, coming to the second day, so here's the thing, right? If Australia can bat out with their last five wickets, why can't we? So we lost our six wickets in the span of 20 odd runs, whereas at the same time, Australia managed to have those 60 runs partnership there with all the five cumulative. So that is where I think we should really focus on contributing 10 runs each per player and making them. So when Stark was playing, he was hitting. He was just connecting and got run out. If he wouldn't have got run out, there was a good chance that he added 20, 30 run more. So
And that I think has always been the problem for India. If you see, it's the bowling all rounders from the opposition that usually take the game away from India. It happened in South Africa. It happened in England. It happens here as well. Stuart Broad, he managed to score a 60 against us. So I think we just don't have the firepower to wrap it up at times.
yeah, so we
We,
don't. We genuinely don't because the last five wickets that we take have an average of around 80, 90 runs, which is not a best team in the test circuit would do. The last that is as good as if you're wrapping the first five for around 100, you should be able to wrap them for around less than 20 odd runs. So that's what a quality team will end up doing. Whereas I don't know.
and
So
it's
that
uh, statistically, if you start going into it, Bumrah, I think, bowled just one Yorker in the last 7 or 8 overs that he bowled. And those 7 or 8 overs were against the bottom half of the table. Yes, Tim Paine played brilliantly. He was the only one who was probably taking the attack back to the Indians. And I feel that from both the
uh,
innings that we, Tim Paine was
because of
probably
that
the
drop catch,
what?
because of that drop catch.
Because of the dropped catch. And yes, coming back to catching, we dropped six catches, out of which at least five were sitters. Five were easy catches that should have been taken at any international standard. Even at domestic standard, those catches don't get dropped. So Prithvi Shaw for me is having probably the worst test match of any of those 22 that are playing up there. And duck, and it was not that it came as a surprise. Everybody, even before going into the game, everybody said the pretty much the same thing, that Prithvi Shaw is not going to do anything in this. So I sometimes have a hard time understanding why Kohli becomes so stubborn with his match selections and choices. Is it Kohli? Is it Shastri? And now let's see if Kohli goes and Rahane comes in, Rahane makes any changes. And we do have three force changes, so we'll talk about
So,
that as well.
so the interesting bit was Bumrah batted 100 times better than what Prithvi Shaw does. Prithvi Shaw did. So the only batsmen to remain not out in a day are very
Was
less. Was Jasprit Bumrah.
absolutely.
Managed to came a wicket down in the third over, managed to stay not out in the sixth over, and facing 10 odd balls. And what
And looked a lot more comfortable than Mayank as well. He was actually reading the batsman. He came with the defensive mindset, so that probably helped as well. Let's hope he makes at least 30 or 40 tomorrow morning, and that should be, another. It's like rubbing the wounds on Australians. But I think coming into day three, I believe
we,
100 or 110 run partnership somewhere might make the difference.
that is the difference between if we end up winning or we don't. And if we bat out the first two sessions and we manage to score around 250 more runs, 250 is an extreme. But I'm just saying, if these guys are able to bat for long period of time, and till the end of day, just put on as much as they can. And again, like today, last 10 overs have the US, have the Australian batsman rattle. So that's what I think.
For me, the difference maker from Australia tomorrow will be Nathan Lyon. Uh, he is again second innings, and I hope that of all the batsmen that we do have, I hope Mayank Agarwal lasts for two sessions, because if he is there, he is going to score runs. He's not going to just sit there. He will score runs. If Mayank and Pujara can make a partnership where even Pujara scores 20 runs and takes 120 odd balls, that's fine. But with Mayank being there on the opposite side, runs will come. He will at least take it to like 2.5 to 3 runs and over, and you could end up with at least 120, in the first two sessions.
So
So
do you want to touch upon India's fielding, or we're done there?
I mean, we can talk about fielding, but there was none. So I don't really know how we talk about it. Prithvi Shaw again dropping a catch which was a sitter, and you cannot drop a batsman of the quality of Labuschagne. He would
Yeah, he
have
was dropped thrice, man. Thrice.
three times, three times, once in the slip, twice on the boundaries, once on the hook, and once on the pull. So yeah, you cannot expect to win matches with that. So
So
luckily for us,
talking about
the
India's bowling, Umesh Yadav was one of the players that we look up for, because see, I looked up on the stats, right? So the stats say that if the first 40 overs, Umesh Yadav has an average of around 52 deliveries, whereas the next 40 he has an average of 21 to 22 deliveries. So that's an incredible average to have.
absolutely. And
That's one of the best averages. Even Pakistani Akhtar and
Wasim and Wakar
Wasim, the old generation guys, man. So these guys have
in the
had those
20s.
averages.
So
Yeah, yeah.
right, and we do have the bowling fire. The biggest thing for me is when Jadeja comes back and when Hardik comes back. Now you have six genuine wicket takers, and maybe when Ishant comes back, Ishant will make way for. I mean, Yadav will probably make way for Ishant.
Of
But when you look at it, we have six genuine wicket taking bowlers, and now suddenly the World Test Championship doesn't really look as bad. We know that we could probably still nick this, win a game here in Australia, and then probably go back to India and
Win the
probably
remaining.
hope we win three at least of the four.
So is
But
Ishan coming back or what is it? Is Ishan
no,
coming back to the
Australia. He will. The next series that we have is with England, and Ishant will be ready for that.
fair?
So India plays one pink ball test against England, and that will probably be in Ahmedabad, the new stadium.
Hmm.
So uh, that's something again exciting.
Let's hope we go ahead and win this because I really want them to win and start off with 2 out of 2 for the pink ball for the day and night, and I want Australia to lose one. So that
So
7 out of 7 record is not, it doesn't look that great. So, and we have always shat on their parades. So even after winning the longest 16, both the times we have won, we have managed to defeat
we were
them
the
one. Yeah.
so here is a funny statistic. Uh, Virat Kohli, whenever he has won the toss, India has never really lost. He has
Okay.
won 24 matches. He has won the toss in 25 test matches, and India has won 24 and drawn one. We won the
Okay.
toss this time. So hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that
Let's
we,
let not those stats change.
yeah, let's not change those ones. So, all right, let's move to the next one. Pakistan versus Zimbabwe. I don't know if you got a chance to take a look.
Pakistan versus New Zealand. There's some issue going on, is what I heard about New Zealand players not playing, New Zealand A team not playing. But
So, New Zealand were pretty much had their B team playing against them. They had quite a few new faces. Uh,
yeah,
Williams.
that was because the last I heard was on Akhtar's channel. Is because there's some racial thing going on there,
No,
and
they pretty much are trying a new squad for the T20 World Cup coming in the next year. It's got
okay.
nothing to do with that. This is they had a pretty decent squad. All the players that actually came in, Jacob Duffy, he has a brilliant run uh, in the domestic season for the Black Caps, and even Blair Tickner, he was a big wicket taker when he walked into this squad. So I don't know where Shoaib is getting that information from, but Ross Taylor was dropped based purely on his form. He managed to get 130, and everything was in single digits prior to this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Williamson is out on maternity leave
Maternity.
or paternity leave rather, and you do have. I think Watling is resting. Watling is resting for the test matches, but besides that, they had a pretty much strong squad. It was a typical one-day squad that they had, minus the
So,
big names.
but they lost the second first ODI first T20, right?
Won the first 20 T20 today. So
No.
Pakistan.
Pakistan lost the first T20, right?
Oh yeah, yes. So Pakistan actually started pretty poorly. They had two wickets down, and I mean 3 wickets down in the first. In I think for 20 they were 3 down, and then they had a good partnership from Shadab. Shadab who's captaining now instead of Babar Azam who is sitting out. So that that was a new
I heard a couple of bowlers just bowled a couple of overs, and Shoaib was pretty upset. I must say.
Shoaib is upset anytime Pakistan loses. So I am not too surprised with that. They managed to score 154, which they
Hmm.
thought was a fighting total on this. And if you look at the record that is there on this ground in Auckland, the average score batting first has been 205 in a T20. So
Okay.
nowhere where they defend this. And Pakistan, yes, they have a brilliant bowling lineup. Shaheen Shah Afridi is in a great form. Haris Rauf has been pretty good in recent times. But even then, they were not going to disturb New Zealand unless they took wickets from the top. Now, New Zealand, they managed to lose first 2 wickets early, but then they had a big partnership after that, and then it was game over. They didn't really come close to it. So all in all, it was again a good game. I really hope um, I really hope Babar Azam gets fit and comes back because we want New Zealand to drop points in test matches. So this is probably the only time I'll be favoring Pakistan.
The
But yes,
only
I would.
time in our life.
Yeah, I would rather have Pakistan win this and put New Zealand on the back foot.
But which is steep, which is extremely steep. But all
It
we
is
get
going to,
was hope.
yeah. But again, Pakistan has a squad which is known to be extremely mercurial. They don't know which Pakistan squad shows up. They
Hmm.
have, while they were losing everywhere, they managed to win 2 games in England. Misbah ul Haq's captaincy. Then they managed to, yeah, that salute. And it's just that their squad, you never know which Pakistan squad turns up.
Unpredictable. Fair,
Extremely unpredictable.
fair.
All right, I guess we can wrap it up for today.
Yes, we can.
All right, guys. So we will be back again tomorrow for the post day three thoughts that we can bring up. Hopefully, we have good thoughts again to share. India does well. But before we go, once again, I would request you guys to just share this channel, like it, subscribe to it, give us a shout out. And wherever you guys are, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you.